Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Let's Talk CFL podcast, episode number 634. I'm your host, Christopher Jones, and we're going to talk some CFL football. It's good to be back in the new year. We've taken a month or so off because of Christmas, the holidays, being with family, being without family, doing whatever we possibly can. But it's time to get back and talk to football. Free agency starting in less than a month. And there's a lot of things that are going to be happening. And so we got to get ready for it. There's been some big signings. There's some free agents. There's some players that are not going to be re-signed. We've got a big kicker in Edmonton coming up in the next week. Is what are they going to do with Trey Ford and his $100 and some odd thousand mid contract bonus? And we can talk about that and why that is and why people think that the players have the right to that money. They don't have the right to that money. But anyhow, and we'll probably talk about the rules because Charles and William are not here tonight. William's out for the night with his lady, and Charles is busy at work. And those are the two that are actually proponents of the rules. They don't seem to have a problem with them, where me, I fucking hate them. And Scott's kind of on board with that. And Michael's a little indifferent, doesn't really like him, but he's an American. He's used to the shit. And anyhow, so let's introduce the panel. I got Michael Dennis here from Portland, Oregon. Edmonton Elks fan, buddy. How you doing? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I'm excited to be back. I can't wait for football to get started. Even though here in America, we've got the NFL, it's not the same as the CFL, and I'm really looking forward to getting back into the game. So
we're talking about 1 week before the Super Bowl here in America, and you're on a podcast talking about the CFL. What does that say about the status of American football? Oh, my good Lord. Lordy, lordy, lordy. Okay. Scott, how are you, sir? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I am doing good. It's good to be back on this talking about football. I've been doing everything I can to try to find all the football that I can without watching all that NFL bullshit. But it's great to be back. A lot of stuff going on, so a lot of stuff to discuss.
Have you guys seen those two guys on Facebook Reels, the videos? They're Brits in America, and they talk about how do Americans live in -2 degrees? What the fuck's going on? Scott's got -45 right now, going to be -55 with a wind chill tonight. Fucking Americans don't know what the hell that is. Maybe in Green Bay, but who knows? But the Brits, they couldn't handle that shit. No, my God, they'd be dead. Scare them anyhow. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to talk some football tonight, and we're going to talk about the rules a little bit, okay? And we're going to talk – actually, you know what? Let's talk about that Trey Ford mid-season, mid-contract bonus. Do you guys understand the bonuses that are happening right now where people are getting their bonus checks in January or February 1st, whatever coming on? Do you understand what that bonus is for and what it is?
Basically, it's guaranteed money for the upcoming season. That's primarily what it is.
Signing bonus.
No. What's that, Scott?
Signing bonus.
Correct. If
or
they had signed a bunch of one-year contracts, okay, it would be the signing bonus. This is the signing bonus for year 2. So if the team doesn't want them in year 2, why would they pay them the bonus? Because they're not signing them. Right? So that's basically what this is. It's a mid-contract signing bonus.
Yeah.
And so right now, if the Edmonton Elks decide that they're going to release Trey Ford, they will have to do it prior to this bonus becoming due and payable. Once it goes due and payable, they can still release them. They're just idiots.
It's crazy. They had an interview with Ed Hervey, and he said that he's actually 100% on board with keeping him.
I just don't understand. But you can't keep him at a $400,000+ contract as a backup to a fucking useless Cody Fajardo. I understand wanting to keep him, but it's not doing him any good because he's got nobody to mentor with. If you actually had a real quarterback in Edmonton, it would be a different story, but they don't.
Yeah.
Well, the organizational stance was, and I saw another interview that Ed Hervey did, is that they wanted to have a talk with Trey before they make any decisions They had not made any decisions on giving him the signing bonus or releasing him. They wanted to have those conversations. They were going to have him last week.
Right.
My gut feeling is Edmonton would be open to re-signing Trey Ford to a new contract under a restructured agreement, but they will not re-sign him, or they'll release him if he will not agree to a restructure.
Well, of course. I mean, he needs to come in at the $150,000 mark, if that, and 135
Yeah, if
would be
that.
realistic for him. And then they would sign him. But it's not doing him any good being in Edmonton.
No,
He's not
he
Now,
can't.
learning and he's
He can't
not on
learn
the
that for
field. So
Jardo.
I
he
think
needs to get out of there.
I think the perfect
Honestly,
place.
I'd love to see him in BC. I would love to see him in BC. Not that I believe Nathan Rourke has the experience or the fortitude to teach him and mentor him the way that he needs to be mentored under, say, Zach Collaros or Bo Levi Mitchell or Trevor Harris or somebody like that. But the kid knows what he's doing and he's playing some great football. All you have to do is watch him, and you know that. And obviously, we have some decent quarterback coaches in BC because Nathan's doing pretty good.
Well,
So,
and the other thing too is a lot of it is asking questions of what you saw when he was on the field. Hey, why did you make that move? Why did you choose this? You learn a lot by asking
100%.
questions.
100%.
Wouldn't the
Talk about
natural
every single fucking play.
Yeah.
the natural spot for him would be Hamilton. He's East Coast. His family's from the East Coast, and I think being mentored by Bo Levi Mitchell would be a real benefit for him because
Hamilton
Levi's. Yeah, go ahead.
I
Hamilton's
don't
kind of
disagree.
iffy. Hamilton's kind of iffy because if they still have Taylor Powell, and if they keep
Yes.
him, he's not going to go to Hamilton.
No. Well, he could go third string in Hamilton and it wouldn't be a bad thing. I mean, I would take Taylor Powell over Trey Ford
100%.
as a number one. If Bo Levi Mitchell goes down, I would put Powell in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Okay, he's already proven himself really well. In fact, they anointed him the starter in Hamilton when they benched Bo Levi Mitchell, and the only reason why Mitchell got back in was because Powell got injured.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we would have seen the end of Bo Levi Mitchell 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Injury, yeah.
Do you think at what point do you say Trey Ford is not going to be a quarterback in this league and that he needs to look at a different position because he's 27 years old?
I don't agree with that statement. There are players in the CFL that made a career as backups. Okay, and made a great living as a backup quarterback for 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if a person is making 200 grand a year as a backup quarterback in the CFL and doesn't get their body beat up on the field,
No,
why would
that's
you
a
do
good
that?
look.
The other thing you have to look at too, Mike, is Vernon Adams spent a lot of times as a backup till he got a legitimate shot, and now he's up there.
So
The
I'm not going.
thing I struggle with in this league is we do not develop quarterbacks.
Nope.
I don't know. I
Fuck,
don't know what the
I've been
next
preaching that for
generation.
years.
I don't know what the next generation of quarterback is going to be in Saskatchewan, in Hamilton, or even my team, Edmonton. Cody Fajardo is not the answer long term. I know that.
Yes,
Who's going to be the next guy up? And I
I
don't
don't
know who
know,
that is.
and neither do
Everyone's
we.
hoping and waiting for these NFL guys or the UFL guys or whoever these guys are that made a name for themselves in their league. They're all waiting for them to come up and be the next big thing right away.
And it's
Like,
it's ludicrous. In reality, the CFL does two things that are stupid. One, we hold a roster spot for a short yardage quarterback.
Oh,
Okay, every team should be training a fullback to handle the ball from center. Okay, big bruising fullback that's going to go north south and move the ball for 1 yard or 2 yards. And if he busts it for 5 or 6, awesome. right? But all he's got to do is get 1 yard. Why don't we have a fullback that can do that? Why are we wasting a quarterback position on that? Why are we risking a quarterback on that position? Right? I mean, that's where he's going to get hurt. And
It's never made sense to me.
Second off, why do we have quarterbacks who are past their prime or never were any good on the roster in case our number one goes down? Okay. Why is Jeremiah Mazzoli, McLeod Bethel Thompson, Chris Stredler, who's the idiot in Saskatchewan? Jake Mayer. Why are these guys even in the league? They've proven they can't be a number one starter. Get rid of them. The roster spot needs to go to a prospect, somebody who has at least gone in there and paid some dues to become a number one. That's the position that Trey Ford should be in right now. Okay, so he's paying his dues to learn to be a better quarterback.
So here's my question: you've been in this around this league. Both of you guys have been in this league for a long, long time.
50 How did
you guys develop quarterbacks prior to the last 5 years?
At one time, there were 3 quarterbacks in Toronto. Want to guess their names? The starting quarterback was Ricky Ray. The backup was Zach Collaros. The third guy was Trevor Harris.
Yeah.
Okay. We developed quarterbacks from the third position forward. We didn't hold on to old guys. We didn't hold on to short yardage quarterbacks. We had quarterbacks that were in the quarterback room that were prospects to become number one quarterbacks. At one time in Calgary, we had who? Jeff Garcia.
Jeff Garcia, Doug Flutie. There was
Dave Dickinson. Yeah. And I mean,
Kevin Glenn was there in his prime. Henry Burris in his prime.
We developed quarterbacks. They were in the second and third position, and those guys got to move up.
So why did we get away from that?
I don't know. I can't answer the question.
It's a hard one.
It's a hard one. I don't get control of a football team at this point in time. I may in the future, but at this point in time, I don't have control over it, so I can't tell you why teams are doing this. Charles, put some insight. Charles Cliff is being welcomed into the show at this moment because he came in a little late, but that's okay. Better late than never, and it wasn't that late anyhow. We just started not that long ago. What's your thoughts on that, Charles? Why do we not develop quarterbacks anymore?
What it is, I think a big part of it is that when teams are, they've got a starting quarterback, but then the starting quarterback is getting up there in years, they are not developing the quarterback on their own. They're looking around at the rest of the league at guys that they are trying to develop. And I think at times they're bringing in guys that aren't ready to be starters, guys that are showing some potential, but they're bringing them in too quickly. And when they get there, they're too quickly, but you don't have enough time to develop quarterbacks, because in this era of free agency, guys are wanting to jump up before they're ready to jump up. And the team that's trying to develop them knows that they're not ready to come in, but other teams are going out and plucking them and saying, oh, we'll make you a starter now, even though you're not ready.
Drew Brown is a perfect example of that in Ottawa. He was made a number one starter stolen away from the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and made the starting quarterback in Ottawa before he was ready. If he had stayed in Winnipeg for another 2 years, Zach Collaros wouldn't be playing right now.
Nope.
Drew Brown would have mentored underneath him, would have apprenticed, and he would be ready to be a starter now in Winnipeg on a team that is solid, as opposed to the clusterfuck that is known as the Ottawa Redblacks.
Yep,
I agree.
I have to admit, for me as a new fan in this league, I'm concerned about the quarterback play. I'm concerned about where our next generation for 2026. I'm okay, but what are we going to do in 27, 28? I just don't see that next player coming on board to be able to lead a team. I just don't see it.
Montreal developed Davis Alexander. BC Lions developed Nathan Rourke. They were all the backups the year before.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's one of those things that teams really need to start developing quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I have no issues with them expanding the roster and having 4 quarterback positions.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I think it's necessary.
Right.
Well, the other thing
you should have your starter. You should have a backup that is capable of jumping into the starter position if he is needed to, if your starter goes down. And then you need a prospect that is really green and learning. That is your 3 quarterbacks in the CFL right now. You can have a little bit more experienced one if you can put that green guy in the 4th position.
Mm-hmm.
With the exception,
or have 2 green guys.
The only exception last year was Davis Alexander. Most of the other teams in the league, their quarterbacks are relatively healthy throughout. They were able to last throughout the season. I think that's an anomaly.
No, that's not true. I mean, they didn't lose as many games as Davis Alexander, but I think Bo Levi Mitchell was the only quarterback that played every game.
I was gonna say, I think every starter missed some time last year.
Whether it was Vernon Adams, Nathan Rourke,
I don't think
Trevor Harris. Trevor Harris only missed 1 game or 2 games.
Yeah, Bo was the only one that didn't.
Rourke missed 3. Every quarterback went down last year except Bo Levi. And that's the only reason why he won the throwing title is because he wasn't hurt.
He was the only one that played 18 games.
Okay?
He wasn't hurt, and no one knew how to defend.
You need a quality backup.
Mm-hmm.
We've proved that. You need a quality backup.
Very few teams that have that right now.
Yeah,
very few.
BC does not.
No,
we proved that with Jeremiah Mazzoli. I mean, I think they released Mazzoli, didn't they?
I don't think he's been released. Although I think he only signed for 1 year, so he's going to become a free agent regardless.
I think they're just going to let that happen, process play out.
I'm still excited. I'm still hoping that Trey Ford gets into BC. I really do. I know that not all BC Lion fans are in that. I know a lot of people in the league do not like Trey Ford, but I do. I think the kid has talent. He's got more talent than any other Canadian quarterback that I've seen that came through the youth sports systems.
He's got something that I think every quarterback needs to be really successful, and the ability to run.
Yes.
If you can't run, I'm sorry.
And I personally think that Nathan Rourke is the perfect guy for Trey Ford to work behind. A guy that has similar attributes, a guy that they can work together with.
They play the same game.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And certainly,
I'm perfectly fine with Trey Ford moving to BC. I would like him to be successful. I follow his dad. I know his dad cares a lot about him. I would love to see him successful. It'll never happen in Edmonton.
No, it's not.
No,
in fact, I probably should send Bobby a message. I haven't talked to Bobby in a while and find out what's going on there. Terrell re-signed with Edmonton, didn't he?
Yeah, I believe so. Yes.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
2-year extension.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. Well, good for him. Good for them. It's going to happen. So, anything else? What you did send me a list of things that you wanted to talk about. I think all of them had something to do with Edmonton.
No, I didn't.
Cody.
I didn't bring up any one thing about Edmonton.
Cody's on it.
Okay.
No Cody. I wasn't talking about Cody.
Okay. Toronto Argonauts head coach announces he expects Chad Kelly to return as the starting quarterback for the Toronto Argonauts. Oh my God. Who thinks this is a good idea? Put up your hand.
Do I think it's a good idea? No. Is it the only really thing because we don't know the health of Nick Arbuckle. It took Bo a couple years to recover from that same thing. Mm-hmm. So Chad Kelly's probably their only.
He's their last resort, I think.
Yeah, they don't have another choice.
Well, he's their best resort. Okay.
Yeah. He's not a horrible quarterback.
I don't like Chad Kelly. Even when he was playing, I don't think he was that good of a quarterback. Toronto was a great team when they went 16-2.
Oh yeah, that
And,
wasn't Chad Kelly at all.
that wasn't on Chad Kelly. That was on the team. That was their defense more than anything.
Their defense was their strong suit.
I don't like Chad Kelly as an individual. We all know the story of him sexually harassing one of his female coaches, one of the junior coaches, to the point it ended up in court.
And his history.
And he got suspended for 9 games where he should have lost his career. Okay, just a dirtbag. I mean, why would you have a sexual predator on your team? It makes no sense, especially with his past track record. But I'm not going to go into that. He is the best option at this point in time for Toronto Argonauts. I think he's probably a better quarterback than Nick Arbuckle. That's a debate. And
I'm
it's
not
one
convinced of that.
I'm not either. I'm not either, Charles. But
if Nick Arbuckle was healthy,
he did get the number 1 position over Arbuckle when they were in training camp.
That's true.
But was that because they were paying Callie starters' wages and Arbuckle was a backup?
That could have something to do with it too.
When Chad Kelly was suspended and Nick Arbuckle came in, he did an amazing job. And then when Chad Kelly got injured last season or the season before, he did an amazing job till he got hurt.
I personally think culture matters in a football team. I don't care how
100%.
good I don't care how good Chad Kelly is. Based on his record, I wouldn't have him on my team because it's a culture thing.
You're not going to get an argument for anybody on this panel.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that's wrong with the Toronto franchise. I think Toronto is screwed up. It's a screwed up franchise. And they're just going to prolong misery in Toronto next year by going with him.
It's a fucking mess from the president on down.
Well, the problem
Not that
is in
Saskatchewan
Toronto
is any better.
Reality, you've got MLSE who owns the club. They don't give a damn about the Argos, by the way.
No.
Not only that, Chad Kelly, because of his past and because of all his incidents, everywhere he goes, he's going to get questioned about it. It's going to be a distraction. I think, let's not put it this way. In the last 2 years, he's played, half a season in 2 years? He didn't play at all last season. The season before, he was suspended half the year and then got injured towards the end. So is this guy really going to be the guy? Okay, fair. But is this really going to be the guy you want to go to, a guy who's barely played in the last 2 years? I mean, sure, like we said, he's the Argos' only choice right now. But, I mean, I'm not sure it's a good one. And I was never a big fan when he was playing. I always thought he was overrated.
I'm gonna look at this from the business standpoint. To me, the 2 most important franchises in the league from a television revenue standpoint, number 1 is Toronto, number 2 is BC. Those 2 are the most important markets in the CFL.
2 biggest markets.
And I do not believe
they're the only ones that matter.
And I do not believe that I think for the CFL to be successful, for them to grow their revenue stream, they need a successful Toronto. And what they're doing in Toronto with the management of that team is crap.
Michael, I'm going to bring a couple of points to your attention on this one. The Toronto Argonauts have won the Grey Cup 2 of the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Prior to Saskatchewan. Okay. They won it. Montreal won it. Then Toronto won it. Okay. It did nothing to improve the bottom line of the Toronto franchise.
Yeah.
Not
it didn't boost the 10 in one bit.
2012, the Toronto Argonauts won the Grey Cup. In 2013, their season ticket holder numbers went down.
Dropped.
So do you realize that in Toronto, since 2013, they have been the bottom in attendance in the league?
Yes.
Yep.
We know.
100%.
That's
not a surprise.
And
you're not sneaking up on us.
Mike,
that's
Mike,
not.
It's been longer than that. I remember in the friggin' 90s when they were still playing at Skydome, they were getting 12, 13,000 fans.
It's never been good for a long time.
It's been crap since the 80s. They used to get 50, 60,000 in the 80s. And then Toronto decided it wanted to be a U.S. city. Yeah, that's true. It went down, but BC has come back so, but Toronto hasn't.
I have had people in Toronto instant message me that say that the reason is they want to be in the NFL. That they're going to support Buffalo before they're going to support their own team. And I'm going,
well,
that's
I'm sorry, it's not much difference in Vancouver. With the Seattle Seahawks have more support in Vancouver than the BC Lions do.
No.
Really? Charles?
I'm not sure. Yes.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, when you're him and hawing like that,
right. Yeah, you're right.
So I hate to admit it, but guaranteed it's better.
But I think a lot of it is it's an exposure thing. I mean, the CFL, the NFL is out there all over the place, and it's not just all over Canada, all over the U.S. It's all over the global now. They're out there everywhere. The CFL's not out there. The NFL, you can't turn around without running into NFL stuff.
NFL right now is sponsoring in minor league football in BC.
Yeah, the NFL has a flag football league right throughout the Lower Mainland. I've seen signs up for it.
The CFL is like
minor
football.
What's that?
CFL is like the exhibition for the NFL.
Yeah, but the CFL shot themselves in the foot. They used to be very good in supporting minor football. The support that the CFL, or at least here in BC, the Lions were always very good at supporting minor football. There used to be a game every year at BC Place where they would give a free ticket to a game to every minor football player in the province of BC. They stopped doing that. I don't know why, but they stopped doing that years ago. I don't know why they did it. Maybe because they couldn't afford it. But I don't know.
When I own the BC Lions, I'm going to have an entire section that is available to minor league football to every single fucking game. An entire section.
Why doesn't Stuart Johnson address the elephant in the room? Doesn't he realize that this doesn't the
elephant in the room?
The CFL is the second best professional football league in the world.
Yes.
And what is he doing to promote it?
Nothing.
Why aren't we doing something about getting people involved in Toronto and BC to fill up our stadiums there and really develop it?
Honestly,
he knows he can't do it.
I hate to say it. Honestly, I would write Toronto off.
You can't.
No, I won't write them off.
I would move the team out of Toronto to Guelph or to Windsor or to one of the other cities close by, even Burlington or something. I still think the BC Lions should get out of Vancouver.
Well, this is where I've ultimately gone. My country here in America loves football. They eat, breathe, and sleep it. It's
a fucking religion.
It's a religion here. And I think...
It's not here in BC. In Canada, period.
However, now, not you guys, us, I'm part of this now. If our league can grow and expand in Canada and then get the television rights down here to America, we could really expand and grow our bottom line here in Canada in our league.
Michael, I have been saying for years, and Charles will attest to this, that if we put one team in America, the entire country of the United States would get behind one team. You wouldn't have a battle between two teams. You would have one team. You would have America versus all of Canada, and it would be phenomenal ratings in the U.S. And I've said this before. ESPN once did a poll of U.S. citizens, and they found that 10% of Americans followed or closely followed the NFL or the CFL. 10% of the American population is the same as every man, woman, and child in Canada. We don't
Well,
have that many fans in this Canada for the CFL. There's more in America. They're just not as passionate or engaged.
I
How
hate
do
to
you
say
engage
it,
the fans? Put a fucking team down there.
our product in Canada is better. I like the game better in Canada than I do my own US game.
Yes,
I
I
admit it.
agree.
Mm-hmm.
And
So do a lot of
think
people.
and I think
Not
if
for long.
Not for
well,
long. It's going to be
but if
very
we
similar.
Stuart Johnson's going to get his head off his ass and start looking at how can I grow and expand my revenue base to get something here into the United States. Because if you got a salary cap right now, $7 million, if we can grow
Six.
that, if we can
Yeah.
grow that, our product's going to be better.
But you have to realize, Mike,
You can't increase the salary cap without increasing the revenue because you're going to put the
Exactly.
the weaker teams, the less productive, profitable teams at a loss. Okay, maybe not Toronto because MLSE has such deep pockets, but it's really going to be a challenge for Edmonton. It's going to be a challenge for Ottawa. It's going to be a challenge for Montreal,
Saskatchewan, and Winnipeg.
Yeah,
Winnipeg,
but that's where you're
Saskatchewan.
going to
It wouldn't
grow.
hurt.
The key is the television revenue. If you can get the television revenue up, that'll pay the salaries for the players, and whatever you bring in the gate is just it's icing on the
You're not
cake.
going to get the TV revenue up because there's not enough. You can't justify the advertising dollars to pay for it because there's just not enough fan support in that. Like
Not
I
enough
said,
viewership.
if you need to raise. Okay, TSN puts out $50 million. That would need to go to $60 million to put $1 million into each team's pocket so that we can raise the salary cap from $6 million to $7 million. Okay, that is unrealistic from TSN, and it's unrealistic, and I don't think it's going to make that much difference to each team to raise the salary cap by $1 million. What would work is if we got $50 million out of the U.S. market, which is a drop in a bucket of television revenue from the U.S. We could probably get $500 million out of the U.S. on television revenue without any problem at all. And then we're looking at a $20 million salary cap in the CFL, and something would happen.
Does the CFL get any money out of CBS Sportsnet, who carries the games in the U.S.?
$250,000.
It's minuscule, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's nothing.
So why doesn't the CFL make an agreement with Amazon Prime or go to Apple and try to develop a television rights deal there and go with streaming?
Because TSN won't let them. And
TSN
has the contract,
well,
and they hold the purse
could do it in the
strings.
U.S., could they not?
They could.
And you have to remember, Stuart Johnson was a part of TSN too, so he's going to have that close ties.
He's got
he still is part of
which
TSN.
is a problem.
Yeah.
I think he's still employed by them.
He might still be. I don't know.
I'll let you guys on a surprise. As an American, I would pay for a streaming right. I would pay to watch your games. I get them for free, but I would pay for it.
CFL Plus.
I would pay for it. And there are a lot of people like me that would pay for it as well.
Yeah, if you had a subscription, you got to see the whole season or something. Absolutely.
They should do that in Canada too, because not everybody has cable.
Why doesn't the CFL have the
Most people now? A lot of people don't have cable now.
Why don't they have a streaming package that's tied to their website?
Good question.
Start writing up a letter and send it in.
I had to pay $25 a month to TSN so that I could stream football, CFL football. That's all I watched on TSN. I didn't watch Wimbledon tennis. I didn't watch anything else. I thought about the girls' volleyball, beach volleyball, but I didn't watch anything else on TSN except for CFL. Okay. And so it cost me $25 a month. So would I pay somebody $25 a month? Of course I would. But I've taken Charles's advice and I've gone off and got IPTV. And now I get everything for a very small amount of money. And it includes movies and TVs and TV series and sport, all live sports and everything else. So it's just a matter of me trying to find where it is and when it is, but they've got 5 TSN channels, so I can watch them all. I'm pretty happy about that, Charles. It's working out very well for me.
Yes,
someone should send me that.
I've been doing that for like
somebody
6 or
should send
7
me that
years.
link.
Well, I can do that.
Well,
I will.
Yeah,
here's the thing. there's four of us in this room talking about this subject. We know more about what's going on in this subject than Stuart Johnson.
I disagree.
No,
I think
they just don't
Stuart
want to do
Johnson knows
anything about it.
exactly what's going on and doesn't want to do anything about it.
For a
They're
reason.
not stupid.
Now, is he part of TSN? Is he part of MLSE? Why is he doing what he's doing? Why is he sabotaging the CFL? Did Charles leave?
No, he does that every once in a while. He'll just cut out for a minute or so, and then he'll be back.
Okay.
And I know a lot of people tell me I'm wrong when I say this. I have a feeling that there's some sort of CFL NFL merger coming up in the near.
That's never going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
I know, but I feel something like that.
I don't think it's happening. I think really what he's doing is Americanizing the rules so that he can expand into the U.S. marketplace and not force the American teams to modify their field to a CFL size field. That's what he's doing.
That makes more sense to me. I don't buy the merger thing. I just don't think it's feasible and so on. But
we're not. You're not. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's like putting minor league hockey with the NHL. I'm sorry. That's a terrible comparison, but you know what I mean. It's just not reality.
But I definitely could see another attempt at U.S. expansion. That to me
100%.
that makes sense.
It has to happen. If
He's
we're
talking about
going
it
to
in
save
St.
the
Louis.
CFL, we need a team in America.
Yeah, he's talking about it in St. Louis.
But what they're going to have to do if they go into U.S. expansion, and I would love that, they're going to have to get rid of the ratio rule. It has to be equal.
You're preaching to the choir.
Yeah, no one's going to argue the ratio.
No one here, anyways.
I would get rid of the ratio rule tomorrow.
We can find people who will come on the show and argue the ratio. In
Oh,
fact,
lots
Paul
of people.
McCallum said he would do it. He doesn't want to argue the ratio. He wants to talk about the rules changes, but that's okay. We're going to get him with both.
He is
Can't let
not
that
a fan.
one slide.
No, he is not a fan.
No, if you do a U.S. expansion, clearly St. Louis would be the number one choice. They love football there. They're drawing well in the UFL. The CFL would blow them out of their minds.
See, unfortunately, you didn't know anything about the CFL for your lifetime. You're relatively new to it. But if you look back at the U.S. expansion back in the 90s, 92, 93, 94, 94 was a big year. 95 was when they won it. Baltimore had just been snubbed by the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Their team had just been yanked away from them. And we walked in with a CFL team and they supported it to the 9th degree.
They led the league in attendance.
Absolutely amazing. They had better attendance than any other CFL team in Canada.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
By far.
And they actually built a proper CFL team with CFL coaches and CFL players. They didn't just grab people off the streets in Shreveport, Louisiana to do this. They actually went and they got Don Matthews, who at the time was the winningest coach in CFL history. Okay, they went out and did it right. They built themselves a team. They weren't subjected to the ratio, and they did a wonderful job. But they did a wonderful job because the NFL had left Baltimore. Now, the NFL has just left St. Louis, took the St. Louis Rams back to LA.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't it? Yeah, it was the Rams.
Yeah.
And
yes, it was.
St. Louis wants a team. They got a stadium. They need a football team in there. Now, yes, they've got the UFL or whatever that shitty league down there is called. But it's not the same.
Last.
It's not the same. They only play like 7 games or something stupid. They need a CFL team in St. Louis. And I've been saying that for 4 or 5 years. Ever since the NFL left, I said, yay, look, we got a perfect stadium. We can put a team in there. And it hasn't happened yet. But, you know, they need to take out the ends of the end zone bleachers out so that we can extend the field. Okay? Need to make it a little wider. And they need to move the goalposts a little bit. They need to make it a CFL field. But obviously all of those things now in the CFL are changing because Stuart Johnson wants us to play in America. So
Which is really-
the only reason we're shortening the field by 10 yards and reducing the size of the end zone is to get teams into the US. That's the only
can't
reason.
think of another reason. It
The-
makes no sense to
doesn't
do it in
make
Canada, not
any
considering
sense
the same
otherwise.
field. The same field is used by youth sports, it's used by college, it's used by junior, it's used by high school. Everybody in Canada plays on a CFL field. Except
Can you imagine the rivalry we would have if we had a CFL team in Portland with BC? The
be
Cascadia.
amazing. So I have a
Yep.
question for you, Michael. They put a team in Portland. You still an Elks fan?
No.
No, because Cody might go to
Probably
Portland.
not. He'll be the expansion quarterback.
Every
No.
team gets to steal a certain amount of players, and Edmonton's going, Cody.
Here, go to Portland.
So here's the thing for you. CFL plays 9 home games in a season plus a preseason. The best seats in the house are like $1,500 a year for season tickets.
Mm-hmm.
It's affordable.
Yep.
Anybody can afford that. Those are the best seats. You can get cheap season tickets for like $400.
Oh, this year I got them even cheaper because we're missing 2 home games because of the World Cup. So
right.
mine were even super cheap.
So
Even though I'm going to go to one of the games in Kelowna, so whatever.
So where
Are you going
to?
Second game against Calgary. I've already got my hotel booked.
So they're going to move the games to Kelowna?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're going to play 2 games in Kelowna.
And that's about
And they're
5 hours out of Vancouver.
roughly. I can make it from my place in 3, but I'm in Abbotsford.
You're in Abbotsford.
Yeah.
Can you get
And
to Kelowna in 3 hours? It's
On a
2
good
hours
day,
to
depends on the traffic.
It's 2 hours to Merritt, and it's about an hour and 20 minutes to Kelowna
No,
from
maybe
Merritt.
maybe 3.5.
3.5.
So clearly
But out of Vancouver, it's going to be an easy 5.
Toronto's losing 3 games.
Yep.
I believe that's correct.
And it probably doesn't matter anyway, but where are they going to move their games to?
I think they're playing
Winnipeg and Saskatchewan.
Yeah, they're not even playing like Guelph or something. They're just like they're moving them.
I thought they were playing at least one of the games in Hamilton.
That might be. I know there's one. There's one in Winnipeg, one in Saskatchewan. I know that.
Yeah, but I think at least one of the games is being played in Hamilton.
Probably.
Yeah. I mean, Edmonton loses a couple games, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they train there. I don't think they're playing any actual games, but I think they're using the stadium for training.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, they're not losing.
Well,
okay. Going down our list
one
here.
of these days we're going to have to have a thought on how can we fix Toronto.
We've
been
having that discussion for the 10 years we've had this podcast.
When you win championships and no one gives a fuck, there's a problem.
That's a massive problem.
Like they have won in the last 10 years, Toronto has won 3 times. And they still don't care.
They still don't care.
They've won more championships recently than any other Toronto team, and it hasn't made a dent.
If you have...
Here's something for you, Michael. The Toronto Maple Leafs, the hockey team, haven't won a championship since 1967. Okay? They're sold out at every game.
Yeah.
Well, you could say the same thing for the Toronto Raptors, who I'm going to see tomorrow night.
They at least won a title not that long ago.
The other thing there is, though, that there's so much sports there that no one gives a fuck about the football because they all care about the Buffalo Bills.
How can you do that? I mean, my God, it's a football team. It's your football team. Why would you want to support the Buffalo Bills?
You know how many busloads of football fans go from Vancouver to Seattle to watch the Hawks play?
You got to know the mindset.
Busloads.
Yeah.
The train gets loaded. It's amazing how many people go from Vancouver to Seattle to watch the Hawks play.
Well, I hate to say it, but I hope the Sea Chickens lose this weekend, but that's just me.
Yeah, I don't see it happening, but who knows?
I'm a Los Angeles Rams fan.
Mhm.
Yeah.
As soon as you start talking about NFL, you lose me.
I don't
Okay.
know. I all I know is there's one more week, and there's 4 teams left, and then there will be 2, and then they have a game. I understand it's pretty popular. On that Sunday afternoon where they playing that big game, I'm going to be watching that Charlie Kirk Memorial thing.
On the halftime show thing.
Yeah, Kid Rock's going to be on it.
I will admit,
Okay.
Super Bowl is the only NFL game I do watch.
Hey, so Michael's got an interesting question here, and I'm going to laugh at him. But it says, we know the CFL is about traditions and allowing players to move on to the CFL. However,
Cool.
should the CFL be compensated for developing players for the NFL, especially when they are currently signed
Good
to a
luck.
contract?
Nope, never will
That's
happen.
not going to happen. Not a chance.
The NFL generally signs them to futures contracts, not actual contracts.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's very, very rare that a CFL player goes boom right onto an NFL
Yeah, that's true.
Roster?
active roster. I think even Alex Singleton had to wait a little while before he went onto the active roster for the Broncos.
Cam Wake
And he
wasn't on the active roster right away.
Yeah.
Cam
Nope.
Wake? No.
No.
He had to earn that spot.
Hell, look
So-
at Doug Flutie.
Doug Flutie, Jeff Garcia, none of these guys went right to the roster. I mean, I think Warren Moon did back in the 80s, but in recent
That's
memory, I
total
don't remember.
deception.
Alex Singleton, I think, did.
Did he? I think he waited a
Um,
year.
Maybe.
I think he
But
went
you're
in
right.
because of injury.
It's extremely rare that they go directly from the CFL in the very rare.
Yeah.
So what type of compensation are you talking about? I mean, these guys aren't even getting signing bonuses for the most part.
It's kind of like the Major League Soccer model. If you go out and you like the Portland Timbers, they want to buy a player in Brazil, they pay $3 or $4 million for the rights to that player, and they get him.
Yeah, but
So
they're
if
going to put the Portland team is going to put that guy on the roster. He's going to be their number 1 or number 3 player on the team. They just brought this amazing hot shot up from Brazil. That's not what's happening with the NFL and the CFL. They're
yeah,
not
but
getting
look,
they're
have
not
you
getting a
taken
major league all-star coming out of the CFL.
have you taken a look at the number of players that have signed with NFL teams
But
from the
look how much
CFL?
they
And
make on the practice roster.
Well, yeah,
And all you have to do is be on the practice roster for so long, and then you get a pension.
And here's the thing,
Chris
too.
Strebler's got an NFL pension.
That's true, strangely enough. All that's going to do, they have to compensate. They're just going to say, screw it, we'll just wait till the guy's a free agent and then sign him. And we don't have to pay anything for that. And so all you're really going to do is you're going to delay a guy having a chance to make more money. And then the effect of that is you might see guys who will sign shorter contracts in the CFL because of it.
And that's what's happened. Is that's why they brought it. They demanded the 1-year contract. Is that Chris Williams scenario?
Exactly.
I mean,
one of
you
the
take
things
a look
that they
at
could do, Michael. One of the things that I might suggest is that the CFL could request a player in exchange.
that'll never happen.
I don't think that's going to happen either, because
Well, no, because they want to be on the practice roster. What about somebody who's not going to make the practice roster?
Take a look. I mean, you look at what
those guys
take a
just
look
get
at
cut.
Calgary. Calgary has gotten murdered this offseason.
Well, they lost 3 players. That's not murdered.
Damian Alford. That's pretty
They
good.
lost 3 players, and that's not anything new. That happens every fucking year.
And we'll see if any of those 3 guys stick in the NFL. There's a good possibility none of them do.
They're all back by August.
You know, Damian Alford is a Canadian, so The chances of him sticking is very rare, very slim.
Most of those players that go down to the end.
What about
He'll be back.
Bursek and Hamilton?
He'll be back. The grand majority of these players that go up there come right back.
Yeah.
You see, that's why you see the inflood at Labor Day of guys coming back and takes them a game or two, and then all of a sudden they go for the playoff run.
Then I was thinking of your team, Charles, with BC losing Carter.
He could stay. I mean, I think he's a guy that could stick as a defensive back and someone like that. He may not. I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised if he stuck.
For whatever reason, with U.S. NFL coaches, there's a stigma about CFL players. They would rather bring in a prospect from the NCAA than a proven guy who's played in the CFL. They don't care. I remember Ricky Ray going down and trying out for the New York Jets, I think it was. He went down and he was there in their training camp. And I remember at the time Herman Edwards was the head coach of the New York Jets. And I think a reporter, I don't know if it was a Canadian reporter or what, asked about Ricky Ray to Herman Edwards. You know what he said? He said, "Oh, he's just some guy from Canada." Yep. And Ricky Ray is one of the best quarterbacks the CFL has ever had.
Yep.
And Herman, the NFL didn't care.
Ricky Ray's in my top 5 quarterback of the best quarterbacks of all times in the CFL. He's in my top 5.
Nothing of him.
Yeah.
Dave Dickinson, Hall of Fame CFL quarterback, couldn't get anything in the NFL. Henry Burris couldn't get anywhere in the CFL. Bo Levi Mitchell never got a serious offer, so he never even went to the U.S.
No, he told him if he wasn't starting, he wasn't trying.
Yeah. They said, okay, bye.
There's the door.
Yeah. Have a good day.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
So
that's it. Good day, good luck.
Basically, you guys don't have a problem. You guys don't have a problem with these players coming down to America, getting released, coming down to America, and then they come back Labor Day.
Oh, Mike, I can't speak for everyone else. I don't blame a guy for trying to make their life better.
Precisely.
And if you want to go to the NFL and try to make more money, all the power to you.
Yes.
Would you go to another bank if you were offered more money? Would I go to another job if I was offered a lot more money? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So Michael, I can't blame these guys.
Yeah. If you were offered 10 times the amount of money you're currently making, would you switch banks?
Of course I would.
So how can we blame them?
If a guy got an opportunity to make more money, I'm not going to
prevent you from doing that.
Yeah.
They can't.
I just think
that's unethical.
If we're developing, if the CFL is developing these players and they do make a roster, the NFL should pay compensation.
Yeah.
No. Should or will? Happen. 2 different things. There would have to be an agreement back and forth, and that just makes the CFL a developmental league, and we don't want to be.
And I don't want us to be that. I don't want that.
No, I don't want that either. So
we're never going to get compensated.
We don't want compensation. We don't want anything from them. In fact, they do have an agreement in place that the NFL cannot sign a player that is currently under contract in the CFL. But the CFL has graciously released players on if they are offered a contract.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
what did you just say?
What?
If a
CFL player is under contract and they go do tryouts in the Dante Myers, he's under contract. Mm-hmm. Saskatchewan released him to give the NFL the ability to sign him.
Because it's illegal for them to sign him while he's under contract with the CFL.
So obviously the NFL had contact with that player in order for him to get an invitation.
They can do that.
Went down there and tried out.
They can do that.
They can hold.
They're allowed to do that. It's not part of the CBA in Canada. The collective bargaining agreement in Canada allows CFL players under contract to seek jobs in the NFL. Mm-hmm. If they are offered a contract, then it's up to the CFL team to release them from their current contract to do so. They are not obligated to release him from that contract. And that happened in Hamilton with a gentleman by the name of Chris Williams. And Chris Williams didn't want to, had an amazing first year in the CFL on a $55,000 a year, 2-year contract. And he refused to play the second year at $55,000 because he wanted to go. He didn't want to hurt his body for such little amount of money when he was being offered NFL contracts. He wasn't released from his CFL contract because Kent Austin is an asshole. And so he basically said, well, I'm not playing at this amount, renegotiate my contract and pay me more money. Give me $200,000 or $250,000 a year. And Hamilton agreed to do that, except the CFLPA had said that to change a contract, you have to extend it. So he would have had to go from a 2-year contract to a 3-year contract to be able to raise the money. And Chris Williams did not want to play an extra year in the CFL because he wanted to be in the NFL for the real money, which I can't blame him. So he literally sat out his second season of his contract, wouldn't play, refused to play for $55,000 and sat out the entire season. And then he went to the NFL and washed out and came back to the CFL. Because that's what CFL players do. They go down to the NFL and they wash out and they come back. So sorry about the rant, but that's really what happened.
That's what happened.
I'm getting to
I got it pretty good, didn't I, Charles?
Yeah, no, that's pretty much that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Well, personally, I if you sign a contract, you have an obligation to fulfill it. That's me.
Hey, hang on. Football contracts are different because the player is obligated to fulfill the contract, but the team is not.
Yeah.
So
because the team can release you.
That is fucking weird. So under those circumstances, I have no issues with a player requesting to have his contract terminated, because a team can terminate him at any second, except for actually after Labor Day. They have to fulfill a contract for the remainder of the season if he makes it to Labor Day. You can't cut a player after Labor Day. You can't. You have to pay
right now, you can cut anybody and it doesn't matter.
Well, that's the same in the NFL. They can cut anybody.
But
there's no guarantees.
The players can't just walk away to another team.
No.
Okay, so they have to be released by the NFL team. That, although that never happens, because they've got nowhere to go to. There's no better league out there that's paying them $150 million a year, which is the comparison between the CFL and the NFL, right? Comparatively speaking.
Well, I will fully admit, as a first year, almost a second year CFL fan, I saw all these signings. I was pissed off. Why are we releasing these players?
Don't be.
Because they're bettering their life. Let them.
Yeah.
Yeah, give them the opportunity to
Mike, if
make more money for their family.
All of a sudden I came up, he said, Mike, I went to another job and I'm getting paid $10 an hour more. Are you going to be happy or are you going to be pissed off?
Well, I'd be happy for you.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right. So we're happy for the
happy?
players to get the opportunity to go to the NFL. Good for them. Good for their families. And best wishes.
It's not the players' fault that the CFL is screwing them out of money.
Yeah.
The CFL isn't screwing them out of money.
No,
the CFL is paying the players a respectable wage for what they are.
Based on what they take in.
There's not a NFL or a football team in the league, a league in the world that will pay them more besides the NFL.
Yeah.
We're not screwing them out of money.
I said that the wrong way.
Okay.
So then the question is, what good is the CFL draft? I mean, if you got like Damian Alford, who was the first pick in the draft, he plays 1 year and then decides to go south, we're screwed.
Do you know, Michael, do you know how many players have been drafted in the first round of the CFL draft that never played a game, never went to a practice in CFL? They went straight to the NFL.
Oh, God.
Yeah, never even showed up to the team. Never signed a contract with the team. Got drafted, but never signed a contract. How many per every year does that happen to, Charles?
Lots.
Then what's the purpose of even having the damn draft?
Good question, because
What's the purpose
never
of having
turns
a
out to be.
ratio to need a draft?
It never means anything. Half the guys in the first round you never see. The other guys that never pan out. I've never. That's why when we have the draft, we never hardly spend any time on it because it's almost a meaningless an exercise in futility.
CFL
Not to
doesn't, or
mention the
NFL doesn't do
ridiculously
anything
bad.
about, or sorry, TSN does not do anything about the draft. CFL
They
doesn't
spent
do
like
anything about the draft.
$10 on
Nobody
it.
cares about the draft.
I'm an idiot. I admit it. I was going to study the college draft. I
No.
was in,
Uh,
I was
Save
going to do
yourself the
that.
time.
And after talking to the professor, I'm going, I'm wasting my time.
100% you are.
Literally, when it comes to draft time on this show, we'll sometimes go over like the first round after it happens. We spend almost no time talking about the draft because
And
it
we're
doesn't
laughing
mean
the whole time.
anything. It's a
Okay,
waste of
so
time.
Michael, do you believe that I am a fan of football in Canada?
Absolutely.
Okay. I cannot name the college teams.
Oh,
I can
God.
name two, maybe three. I don't think I could name six. There's
So-
the Calgary Dinos. Okay. There's the UBC Thunderbirds. There's the
Alberta Golden Bears. There's Laval.
I didn't know that.
Whatever.
I didn't know that. There's
Huskies.
the Rouge d'Or.
McGill Redmond, Rouge
Oh yeah, I
d'Or.
forgot about McGill. I don't know them.
There's the Western Mustangs. But the thing is,
Who cares?
if the U Sports Canadian college football game gets 1,000 people, that's considered a good attendance.
So you're telling me that as far as the
No.
CFL is concerned, the most important period is the free agency period,
Oh,
and
easily.
screw the rest of it.
And that is under protest from me because I don't think we should have free agency. I disagree with it. I think free agency has wrecked every major league sports in North America.
Maybe
How do you-
not, but
how
that's
do you
not
put-
going away.
Let's give Drew Brown as an example here, okay? Drew Brown, Winnipeg Blue Bombers. They find this guy. They spend time scouting him. They spend money scouting him. They court him. They bring him to training camp. They teach him. They play him. They dress him. He's in a backup capacity. They have physiotherapy, strength training. They have coaches for him. They do all of this stuff. He gets up his first free agency. He's gone to Ottawa.
Why would the owners agree to a free agency period where they only have the rights to a player for only 2 years? That is insane.
Well, I think it
Or
should.
1
I think
year.
a rookie contract should be 5 years, but it has to be progressive. Okay, you
It
can't be
should.
$55,000 for 5 years. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But you need to be able to renegotiate year 2, 3, and 4. If this guy comes in and is a complete fucking all-star, then you have to be able to increase his salary to do so. But you should be able to maintain his rights for 5 years because you're putting the time, effort, and money into creating this football player. Because really, you are creating this football player. Look at the time and effort that Edmonton Elks have put into Trey Ford. Right?
I kind of look at it like the NBA. The NBA, you're tied to a team for 4 years. However, after that 4th year, you go into free agency. You have my Trailblazers have the ability to match any contract that free agent gets. We get to match it.
Yeah,
and we
it's
can
called
keep
restricted free agency. Yep.
And we can keep that player for up to 9 years. Now, I would say in the CFL, we should have at least a minimum of 5 years.
Very, very rare these days does a player spend his entire career with one team. Very rare.
It's almost unheard of at this
still
point. At this
happens.
point.
I mean, TJ Lee of the BC Lions played every game with the BC Lions.
Yep.
Milt Stegall played every game with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. I mean, there are players out there who have done it, but it's very rare these days.
Especially modern day.
And you would never get the CFLPA to agree to any kind of restricted free agency because they want to be able to be available on the open market because a football might have the shortest career span of any sport, and they don't want to be tied to one team they want to have their options. So you'll never get the CFL, the PA to agree to anything like that. I couldn't see it.
Well, the
Not
problem
without
with that,
substantial increasing in the salary.
we have said multiple times before, Charles, is the CFLPA has zero fucking leverage against the league.
No, that's why they always fold every time there's a CBA negotiation.
Yes.
They put up
So
this united
if
front
the league
for a month
wanted
and then
that
they
to
think,
happen,
no more.
it would happen. But I
Yeah,
just
that's
don't believe
probably
it. Did you
true.
see what T-shirt I got on today? Did you guys see this?
Beat the Bombers.
Don't you think for the benefit of the league, and I'm just looking at it from the league standpoint, you need to get these players back in the community. They're paying I found out that there's a community fund that each team has, like $250,000 that they can pay these players to stay in the community during the off season so that they're getting paid.
Marketing money.
Shouldn't we be investing money in trying to get these players in the community, pay them a decent wage to stay in the community, to be invested, to grow our product?
Do you know what the difference between the cost of living in Winnipeg and the cost of living in Vancouver is?
It's
Tons.
oh God.
That's like
Yeah.
the difference between
embarrassing.
living in Portland and living in Manhattan. Cost of living in Vancouver is greater than Manhattan.
Yeah.
Okay. So
And this community fund you're talking about
play-
is peanuts.
to pay a CFL player $65,000, which I think that's the minimum now, isn't it? 65 up from
I
55.
think so, yeah.
Something like that.
$65,000. You can't live in Vancouver for $65,000. That means 2 or 3 players have to rent one apartment.
Well, they're getting players housing subsidies. They're supposed to.
Yes and no. They're only allowed so much per team. So if you want the better players, you're going to give them more housing subsidies. The weaker players, the special teams players, aren't getting fuck. Okay,
Yeah.
so
They're living with
here's the
somebody.
thing.
Clearly, we
I
want
want
the
to buy
kid.
the BC Lions, and I've said
We
this
want the-
for 10 years.
We want the kicker from Saskatchewan, Lowther, to get the most amount of housing allowance possible, because we know he's a very valuable kicker.
Yeah, for other
Kickers.
teams. 'Cause
You,
he's
you
always
know what?
missing.
Go ahead. Take them.
I have been saying for at least 10 years that I want to buy the BC Lions, and I've been working on a plan to do that. It was a very lofty goal, and it's looking more attainable for me. Okay. Now I'm putting this out to the universe right now because if things work out the way they will, I will own the BC Lions. I am going to move the Lions out of BC Place. I'm going to build a stadium in Langley, and beside it, I am going to build a big apartment building, and which will house players, and also the top floors will be rental units or strata units to people who want to watch the football game from their apartment. Okay, so
Now,
this is
that's
all
an
going to
interesting
happen.
idea.
If I get my way, that's what's going to happen. Okay.
Did you know that this is something that I learned from the Ed Hervey broadcast? Edmonton went out and they bought a chef. They got a chef, so they have all their player meals are provided for the players. Did you know that the league requires them that the players have to pay for those meals
Yep.
because of the damn salary cap? That's
Yep.
bullshit.
That's how it works.
I mean, there's some things in this league that drive me nuts. And that's one of them. You want to provide an atmosphere where your players can eat nutritious food. It's good for your players. it doesn't, it's a cost of doing business for the team.
Right. So if I own the restaurant and the players come into the restaurant to eat and they pay $2 a meal, they're buying the food. It's what the price on the menu is. The league can't have an issue with that, can they?
That's true.
True.
As
can mark
long
it
as
down
I
to
give it to
next to
anybody who
nothing.
comes into the restaurant at that price, of course, you must need a reservation, and the reservations are proprietary or to the players, right?
Well, here's my recommendation.
Prioritized.
I'll shut up for the rest of the evening. Let's make Charles the
I
president
don't
of the
believe you.
CFL. Let's make Charles the president of the
Me?
CFL, and we'll get rid of Stu. And I'm sure we're
That's
going to
the
have a hell of a
commissioner.
lot
That's not
better
the
league.
president.
Damn. Yeah, I'll do it. Sure.
I don't think you want the job.
No, not really.
I was asked before if I wanted to be the commissioner of the CFL, and I said
'Cause-
no. I want to be a
'cause
team owner.
I would do a bunch of stuff that the traditionalists wouldn't like, so they'd come at me with like torches and pitchforks and stuff like that.
What would you do,
You know-
Charles?
First thing I would do is I would get rid of the ratio
Well, we
because
all would.
all it does is hamper the league. Next thing I would do would be to give $30 million to me. After that, after that, the teams would be bankrupt. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I hadn't
You're
thought
thinking
about it. I
small,
would,
okay? You're
yeah.
thinking small here.
You like just 30 million or no?
Yeah,
I would
that's-
start looking at expansion teams in the U.S. I would never say the word Halifax again.
Is Halifax a word?
It's a city.
Sort
I
of.
guess it counts as
It's a slang word.
How many of you did you guys watch the CFL Stuart Johnston's press conference? Did you
No.
watch
Oh,
it?
are you talking
I
about the
didn't
one where
care.
he said that absolutely no pushback on the rules?
Yeah.
Which is nonsense. Which is obvious nonsense. We
Shit.
know that's not true.
No. So
So-
many coaches and GMs have spoken out about it.
Yeah, but I'm
How
listening
can
to
you
his
respect somebody who goes on the television and lies?
Yeah.
Literally, the day they were announced, you had Nathan Rourke going on and ripping them, and yet
Yep.
I had no pushback.
And
Well,
what
we
did
know that's
Nathan
not
Rourke say
true.
afterwards? Did he apologize? No.
Nope.
He said, my
No.
position has not changed, but I understand the league's position.
The
So
only
obvious-
thing the only thing Rourke said is he came out and said, after I said it, I rushed back to my players to make sure that I was right in what I was saying. They all agreed with him, so he continued the position on it.
I'm surprised Stuart Johnson didn't fine him for it.
So am I.
I think it has a lot to do with so many people continue to speak out about it.
I mean, the CFL would be wealthy if they find out every player and coach that spoke out against the rule changes. Look at Mike O'Shea.
I have
And honestly, Nathan Rourke, one of the best players and one of the most popular players in the CFL and a Canadian. You really think he's going to go after him for making content? That's not going to happen.
No.
He'd just get crucified more if he did that.
Yeah,
I want to hear from Stuart Johnson. What am I going to do to grow my league? How am I going to improve? How am I going to improve my product?
You want to know what I want to ask him, Mike? Where is this undeniable data that exists? Where?
There is none.
No, exactly.
I've looked.
Here, I have a question for you. They say that by moving the goalposts off the goal line to the back of the end zone, is they're going to open up the middle of the end zone, and there will be 1.4 more touchdowns per game per season. Okay? So my question for you is, there is no goalpost at the 30-yard line. There's no goalpost at the 50-yard line, and there's no goalpost at the other 30-yard line, yet the majority of plays are to the outside. Why?
Well, and the other
Because
funny
the
part,
defense is too solid in the middle.
the other part of that too is how many touchdown passes in the CFL go to the center back of the end zone? That now those are going to be restricted. You won't be able to throw back into the back of the end zone because now the goalposts are there. So you're taking
I
one.
don't believe. I don't. I'm not buying that argument. I'm not.
That moving the goalposts is wrong.
No, I'm saying that I don't believe that moving the goalpost to the back of the end zone is going to change the way the CFL is played.
No. That's not what I'm trying to get at. It's just what I'm saying is there's nothing you're gaining by putting it in the back of the end zone that you're going to get at the front of the end zone, like you said, because the defense is too strong.
Because nobody throws the ball down the middle.
No.
Nobody's even right now. If you're at your 10-yard line, okay, where's the ball going to be thrown? Is it going to be thrown down the middle of the field, or is it going to be thrown off to the sidelines? It's off to the sidelines almost every fucking time. The only time that the ball ever gets thrown down the middle was like Anthony Calvillo giving Ben Cahoon, and Ben Cahoon gets blown up by some linebacker.
Almost gets him killed.
Every time,
dangerous
right?
ones.
It's a dangerous place to catch a ball. Do you think it's going to be better in the end zone? No, it's going to be more dangerous because the defensive backs and the linebackers are going to be playing for death. Okay? Yeah. You move the goalposts out of the middle, it's not going to open the middle up for more touchdowns.
No.
All you're going to, in honesty, I honestly believe that they're moving the goalposts and they're saying it's for safety. I think the goalposts right now are a greater safety net for receivers than what opening it up and having them throw the ball in there. It's going to be a greater safety risk for them to try to catch the ball in the middle of the end zone. They're going to get killed.
Is, if you Google players being hurt by field goal posts, you'll actually find more with them in the back of the end zone.
You get Corey Banks.
Yeah. But it's stupid.
Did you watch that video?
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty funny. There was another university guy that did it too.
His teammates were laughing on the field at him. They were laughing their ass off. It was funny.
Yeah, I mean, should have. But here's the thing, though: how many cameramen on the sidelines get injured every year? How many officials get injured? Like, you cannot protect. It's a game of football. It's going to happen.
Because you got guys coming at you way too quickly. You can't react that quickly.
Yeah.
It just happens.
The people on the sideline get hurt way more than anybody hitting the field goal.
Sure, they do.
Hell, the referees in the middle of the field that don't get the fuck out of the way.
Let's face it. How many quarterbacks hit the
Johnson.
uprights in the CFL? How many quarterbacks? Besides Cody Fajardo, how often does it happen?
You just eliminated 50%.
I'm waiting for Stuart Johnson to say, I'm going to create a new rule that you cannot hit a quarterback at all. Period.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Ironically, wasn't it Zach Collaros that hit the field goal post in the East final?
Yep. No, that was Cody Fajardo.
He had been in the playoffs. No, I'm talking like this year.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Zach Collaros did. Zach Collaros did.
We laughed about it, right? Of course, nobody else did.
Yep.
But it's funny. It's funny. I mean,
Cody's wouldn't have been so funny if he didn't do his dramatic fall at the end. Those will be memes for the rest of his life.
You guys are hard on him.
He's hard on
No, we're not.
You guys just love picking on him.
We do. Do you know why we love picking on Cody Fajardo, Michael?
I don't know.
Because you love him so much. if you didn't say anything about Cody Fajardo, we would never mention him.
We'd have no reason to.
We'd have no reason. It wouldn't be fun.
I love Cody Fajardo. I'm sorry.
Well, that's why you're going to get picked on forever. He's just not a talented quarterback. He's just simply not.
I disagree.
I mean, of course you do.
He was a part of a winning team with Montreal because, like Toronto, the defense.
They have a great defense, okay? You know, we look at people, and perpetual backups. We'll call Kevin Glenn one. He was a starter for the BC Lions. He was a starter for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. He was a starter for a bunch of different teams, but he was always a backup. Yeah. Okay. Kevin Glenn is 10 times the quarterback Cody Fajardo could ever hope to be.
Oh, I would bet you money that if Cody Fajardo had the opportunity to go to BC, you'd be jumping up and down.
We had him in BC. We got rid of him.
Yeah. He was a BC Lion. Go look it up.
That's where he started.
Okay.
Don't feel bad.
After Toronto.
We ran Damon Allen out of town too, okay? And he's like, people think he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Oh.
He was terrible.
He was an overrated quarterback, and he was not a good person.
He was too dumb to retire.
Jerk.
I will say this about my guy Fajardo. He's entertaining.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. And he's got the respect of the locker room.
I don't understand how you think he's entertaining. He's not. He's entertaining in a bad comedian kind of way.
He's as entertaining as Stuart Johnson is.
Oh, God. Stuart Johnson is an idiot.
Yeah, so is Cody Fajardo.
Mike, I will tell you something. Right now, I will 100%, without even taking a breath of air, say that I will take Cody Fajardo back onto the Riders as a field goal kicker.
As a
100%. No questions asked.
I haven't seen your guy has re-signed with Saskatchewan yet.
What's that?
I haven't seen Lowther re-sign yet.
They're in conversation.
God, I hope not.
But here's the problem. Here's the problem, though. It doesn't matter.
I kind of hope he does.
It doesn't matter. Like
I hope they re-sign him.
Winnipeg just signed Castillo. It's not going to matter. Because once they move those field goal posts, kicking is going down significantly.
Well, see,
I'm concerned for BC because when they say they're moving the field goal post, Sean White says he's retiring.
100%, and a lot of I don't see a lot of kickers doing that.
Honest to God, last season when Lowther was going for a field goal, I was praying for him because I felt sorry for him.
It didn't work.
Lowther's horrible. And you want to know what he turned around and did? Now, don't get me wrong. Last year was not the only year that Lowther sucked. He was good his first year. After that. But he blamed this whole season going, well, I had a lingering back issue. So I'm assuming that Lowther and Fajardo were roommates. I don't know. Because he learned the excuses from Cody. I shit the bed. Oh, my back was sore.
Cody does not make those excuses in Edmonton.
Oh.
No, because the team sucks.
It used to suck. It used to suck.
Did they make the playoffs?
Nope,
they're going to make the playoffs this year.
Did they?
No, but they're going to.
There you go. So maybe this year they won't as bad. Maybe.
Who is going to suck in the West?
Edmonton.
BC?
Winnipeg.
No.
Saskatchewan?
No.
Calgary?
No.
Then Edmonton's not making the playoffs.
Yeah,
Edmonton,
they're not better than
Winnipeg. I can see Winnipeg and
Edmonton's making the playoffs.
I can see Edmonton and Winnipeg fighting for that because Winnipeg seems to think that they can have their dinosaur.
The question
team
isn't whether they're going to make the playoffs. It's whether they're going to make it. Will the Elks make the crossover? That's the only question.
That's the way they're making the playoffs. Because they ain't going to be any other way.
You also have to take a look at how many players have left Calgary. We don't know what Calgary's going to look like until after the free agency.
It's only a few.
Oh, hang on.
And there's free agency.
It was worse the year before, and look at them.
Yeah. Calgary finally has a quarterback.
We all picked Calgary to be at the bottom of the league last season, and yet they were one of the best teams in the West.
They have VA
and why do you believe Ed Hervey cannot rebuild Edmonton into that same type of group this year?
Because he couldn't
'Cause he
do
has Cody.
shit in BC, and he
I
wasn't
saw what
very
he
good
did
in
in
Edmonton
BC
before.
as a GM.
Edmonton
He's not
cannot
that good
be
of a
that
GM.
caliber team until they get rid of Cody. They cannot be a caliber team.
He's not a guy for the future. I'm sorry. He's the guy.
not a guy for the present.
He's a journeyman, if
He-
anything.
He's a decent backup quarterback.
He's a guy that can basically keep your head barely above water. But he's not a superstar. He's not a guy
So,
that's going to put you
Charles-
over the top.
Charles,
Yeah.
when Travis Lulay was injured and the BC Lions signed Kevin Glenn, what did we hope for?
500.
A 500 season. What did we get?
A 500 season.
Okay. What is Edmonton going to get with Cody Fajardo?
If they're lucky, a 500 season, but I'm not convinced of that.
That's not going to get him in the playoffs.
Not in the West. It might get them a crossover, but it's not going to get them. Then I just don't think
If they don't have 11 wins, they're not making the playoffs in the Western Division.
Not in the West, they're not.
The other problem with
might get the
Cody
crossover.
is, and I will do this all day long, Cody chokes and does horrible in the big games that matter. Look at the game against BC.
God, you're never going to let me
And-
forget that.
But even
No,
you
because
were
that is
being
Cody.
critical of
That
him.
is Cody.
Michael,
Right there.
you should not forget that game because Cody showed his true colors,
That was
and he will do that again and again and again. He cannot handle pressure.
Well, what are my choices here? I mean, I've got Trey Ford or Cody Fajardo. What do you want? What can
You
I
want
say?
the best
Hang on.
of what's available.
I'm not saying that Edmonton should not have Cody Fajardo as their number one quarterback. I just do not believe that you should be as optimistic about the results of the Edmonton Elks this year as you are. You should know that in a 9-team league, Cody Fajardo is the 10th best quarterback as a starter. Okay.
No. I can't
There's-
accept that.
The
Who's better
only
than him?
person that I would take Cody Fajardo over would possibly be Drew Brown, but Drew Brown has more upside. He has potential to be better. Cody has no potential to be any better than he is.
Well, let's look at this. Let's go by one. Are you putting him over Nathan Rourke? No. Are you putting him over Vernon Adams? No. Are you putting him over Trevor Harris? Probably not. Are you putting him over Zach Caleros?
Yes.
No.
Caleros is starting to fall.
No.
But I still
Starting
think
to
I'm
fall,
putting
but
Caleros.
still.
Do you put him over? Well, you said Drew Brown. You might take him over Drew Brown. Are you taking him over Bo Levi Mitchell? No. Are you taking him over Chad Kelly?
Yes.
Based on talent, I'm not. We know Chad Kelly's a jerk, but in pure quarterback, Chad Kelly's a better quarterback than Cody Fajardo. I'm sorry,
And
he is.
And
you
Davis Alexander.
No.
There's
Now,
not a single team in the CFL that I would take Cody Fajardo as the number one starter over their current starter in this league. I would take Drew Brown because he has more potential.
Well,
He hasn't proved it, but he
you
has more
guys sure know
potential.
how to put a damper on my life.
No, we're just stating facts.
We're grounding you. We're giving you a
Mike.
taste of reality. The fact is, Cody Fajardo is the best quarterback in Edmonton right now,
Yes.
bar none.
No,
No
I don't think
argument.
anyone's disagreeing with that.
Nobody's
better than
arguing
Trey
with
Ford.
that. Okay, he is not better than any other quarterback in the CFL. For your team to be better than any other team in the league, they need to have a better quarterback than what that other team has. Is he going to beat a team now and then? Yes, he's going to. Of course he is. He got 7 wins last year. But if you look at the wins, who did he beat? He beat Montreal with Davis Alexander hurt. He beat Ottawa. He beat Toronto with backup quarterback in place. He beat, who else did he beat? Well, did he get Hamilton
Calgary.
when he beat Calgary, right? And Calgary, but that was the Labor Day rematch, okay? And we said that game doesn't count. And I know you think differently, but throughout history, those games never count.
The records never matter in those games. Never.
No, it doesn't matter what your record is. You could lose that game, okay? And then they turned around and beat Saskatchewan when Saskatchewan was just kind of fucking the dog, to be honest.
Yeah.
They really didn't care. They'd already got sewed up first place, and they didn't beat BC. They didn't even come close to beating BC. Okay. And
Mike,
they didn't beat Winnipeg.
the other thing too, Mike, that you have to look at is every other team that has a better quarterback than Cody Fajardo, if anyone's starter gets hurt, they're in the exact same position as Edmonton because no one has a quality backup. Since if Trevor Harris goes down game 1, we're fucked.
Guaranteed.
If Vernon Adams goes down, they're fucked. BC doesn't have no one else has really good quality backups.
Right.
So, but
Well,
that's where
maybe-
Edmonton.
Maybe
said,
Ottawa.
Well, Hamilton.
Yeah, Hamilton is.
Hamilton, Taylor Powell, and who's the guy in Ottawa? I never remember his name.
Crum?
Good kid.
Dustin Crum.
Crum. Right?
Yeah,
So,
Dustin.
I'm not sold on him.
It's definitely, I would say that Cody Fajardo is probably in the top 3 backup quarterbacks in the CFL. In the top 3.
Fortunately,
He's up there with Crum and Powell.
Fortunately,
and nobody else has anybody better. So Edmonton has a chance to win the playoffs if somebody else, if the other quarterbacks aren't playing the game. But if we have all the other teams have their number 1 starters, the number 1 starters are always healthy. Edmonton's in last place in the West.
And if you look at the CFL going back year to year to year, there's always several teams that have their quarterback go down for 2, 3, 4, half 6 games.
Well, fortunately, you got to have a defense, and Edmonton is improving in defense. Our roster's improving.
We're not picking on Edmonton and saying that they're a bad team. We're just saying that to be a good team in the CFL, you need a good quarterback. Edmonton is lacking in that department. Calgary has a good defense. Montreal has a good defense. Toronto has a good defense.
I don't care what league. I don't care what league you're in. You got to have a great quarterback to win the league.
Mike, you want to know something? If you go back, there was a thread that was posted about Cody that I was on, and people kept coming at me going, Cody's this great. All those people that were saying he's such a great quarterback and done this amazing things are, to be perfectly honest with you, no nonsense Rider fans who don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They met Cody. Cody is a wonderful. I met him. He's a great guy. Wonderful. I would go and hang out with him anytime. He's just not a quality quarterback.
It is what it is. Okay, gentlemen, we're an hour and 45 minutes into this show. I've had fun, considering we just talked about whatever the fuck popped in our minds.
Yeah.
But I'm going to call the show, and we're going to shut her down. Right. This has been Let's Talk CFL podcast, episode number 634. I'm your host, Christopher Jones. I'm going to say goodnight, and you guys have a great one. And Michael, we'll leave this one up to you. Say goodnight.
Good night, everybody. Have a good week.
Charles.
Good night, everybody. Free agency just around the corner, so things are going to start getting interesting pretty quickly, I think.
We are coming back in a week, okay? This is now our regular Wednesday night show. We're going to do that as best we can on Thursday. But it was Thursday because you couldn't make it and Will couldn't make it. And okay, so we bumped it a day, but Wednesday's our regular show, and that's what we're going to stick with. If anything, we might play Tuesdays, but we can't play Thursdays once the season starts because we have Thursday night football. Okay, so
for some reason,
if we can't do it on a Wednesday night, we should plan to do it on a Tuesday night. Okay, and Scott, say good night, please.
Good night, everyone. We'll see you again next week to talk about some exciting stuff.
And you guys can pick up this podcast on YouTube Live with our beautiful faces on in video, or you can pick it up on whatever pod server that you use. The audio will be there. So you guys take care. Have a great evening. And I am shutting it down. Oh, wrong button. There we go.